Well, I came to Tirana in Albania for work and not for touring the city. So unlike all the travel that I had done before, there is nothing with regard to exploring the city except these few pictures that I took whilst I had time around this conference. I guess touring Tirana, which is a beautiful city, and taking some time walking around, seeing what's out there, and then also showing it to you is for another video. This was just a tiny little bit before I went back on the road again. It was only a few days later that I was about to discover that I had missed some very important social activities that I would have loved to participate in. But that's one reason why I definitely will come back to this wonderful country, exploring the countryside and the cities. And good morning. Tiggy and I are on the road again. We spent 3 nights in Tirana, and there is not much video footage that I have taken from Tirana. Like, for example, in previous videos when I had conference business in Skopje or in Pristina, there's not much to show around. And also because it's not about exploring, for example, the nicer areas of Tirana, it's staying at a safe place in the outskirts of Tirana in front of a little hotel, and these people at Hotel Baron are offering overnight stays for camper vans. Not many. I think if you have 2 or 3 camper vans there, then the capacity is full, but it's a safe place. All amenities, you have shower facilities, and you can have breakfast, lunch, dinner in the hotel, so that's all very nice and fine. But the most important thing was that it was safe for Tiggy when I was doing my work. And other than that, these places are nondescript and a little bit dusty, so not much to show you around there. This morning I just left Tirana, and I was lucky to not having to hit the traffic in Tirana. But from Hotel Baron I was immediately getting on the highway.
600 meters. Keep left at the fork.
And I'm now headed towards Shkodra, but I have changed my plans. I don't want to... Shkodra, the oldest city of Albania, is something for another visit.
Keep
because
left at the fork.
I would only pass through, and I had also thought about stopping over in Podgorica in Montenegro, but I changed my mind. It's been a while on the road, and I have some work that I have to do tomorrow, so I will try to get to Serbia and as close as possible to Belgrade, maybe even directly to Belgrade, I don't know that yet, so that I have enough time tomorrow for my work, and then also to clean up the van and relaxing a little bit over the weekend, because my next travel that is coming up is next Thursday to Toronto. And after these almost 10 days on the road now, I wouldn't say I'm tired, but I want to come back to my accommodation in order to prepare. It was a great adventure for Tiggy and for me, and I'll take you now a little bit alongside this travel. Well, at one point, because I was driving, because I had pre-selected my route with Google, and because I had no data plan in Albania, I was riding with Google offline, so I couldn't check from time to time where I was. I just had to keep the route going, and all of a sudden I don't see the Montenegrin border coming up, but the demarcation on the map for the North Macedonian border. So what a surprise. It wasn't really making a difference, because in terms of kilometers it is quite similar, and also in terms of highway routes it was more convenient. So I decided to continue, and I then also ended up with sticking to my plan to drive back to Belgrade within one day. So after crossing the border between Albania and North Macedonia, I passed Lake Ohrid, and then I passed Skopje, and then I entered Serbia, and I went all the way from Vranje through Niš up to Belgrade, where I arrived quite at a good time in the late afternoon, and I could rest. And yeah, then I arrived first in something like a pre-spring Belgrade, which then turned into a snowy Belgrade after some time. But here you can also see that Tigre enjoyed being with his friends out in the front yard, where there is a gang of stray cats, and he enjoyed that very much, in as much as you can see in the next picture, he decided to extend the living room by just hanging out in the hallway of my building. There are lots of flowers there, and he loves them very, very much. So that's it. Snow in Belgrade again. Well, it's end of February. That's completely normal. It's a sort of a heavy snow. Yesterday morning everything was okay. Then it started to rain and the temperatures dropped. And now it's continuing to snow, as far as I see, for most of the day. But I had all opportunity to clean the van, getting it through the car wash and getting it back into the safe space where it's now staying for the next, I would say, maybe 2 weeks. Not much longer, because when I'm coming back from Toronto, the van will be prepared for taking Tigger and me by mid of March to Berlin for 4 weeks.